Welcome to part 3 of setting up. In this guide we're going to be focusing on setting up additional movement options that can be found in the control settings. First up is the single tap wall dodge. When this feature is enabled, it can almost put your wall dodging on automatic. Simply by being in the air and next to a wall and pressing a directional key just once will cause you to wall dodge. It's quick, it's easy to use, but will often cause more harm than good. For instance, if you happen to be shot or knocked into the air by the enemy and happen to be near a wall, high chances are that you're already pressing a directional key to reposition yourself before you land. This will automatically trigger an unwanted wall dodge that, if you weren't ready for, messes up your aim or causes you to land in a dangerous situation. Now this problem can somewhat be solved with another option, single tap wall dodge only after a jump. This feature will only trigger a wall dodge after a jump or a dodge that you've executed. So if the enemy knocks you into the air while you're near a wall, you won't automatically wall dodge if you're accidentally pressing your movement keys at the same time. Another option that can give you slightly more control over your single tap wall dodges is the single tap wall dodge hold time. This feature enables you to hold a wall dodge for a period of time that you can set in the options. So as you cling to a wall, press and hold a directional key, and when you're ready to wall dodge, simply let go of that directional key. By changing the value to say 1, you can continue to hold a wall dodge up to 1 second, and if you go over that time limit when holding a wall dodge, you simply won't wall dodge when releasing the key. Now that I've explained what single tap wall dodge does, I can now say nope, nope, and nope. Turn off that crazy Jackie Chan simulator as it does more harm than good. Sure, it might seem useful and easier at first being able to wall dodge everywhere like you're in the Matrix, but even when you have the additional options on for more control, it still gives unforced errors and can be incredibly annoying when you dodge accidentally off a wall when you didn't mean to. There are 2 ways to be more efficient with wall dodging. One is the old school classic method of double tapping your movement keys to dodge. This way you'll only wall dodge once you've implemented 2 keystrokes next to a wall, giving you much more control. But the muscle memory might take time to develop if you're not used to double tapping to dodge. The other method, and definitely not to be confused with the single tap wall dodge, is the single tap dodge key. And when this key is bound, it will give you much more manual control over your wall dodging and dodging in general. I highly recommend getting accustomed to this key ASAP, especially if you're a new player. Now if you want a bit more information on the single tap dodge key and what it does, you can check out the basic movement guide I've made before in the annotation below. Okay, now moving on to the dodge double click time. Now before I explain what exactly this does, if you're already accustomed to the single tap dodge key and use it for all your dodging needs, you might as well set the dodge time value to 0, as you won't need it as single tap dodge is way more efficient, leading to less accidental dodges. Now if you're an old school player like myself and still use double tap dodge, the value you set will be the time interval in seconds that you want the game to check for the double tap. 1.0 being 1 whole second, while 0.2 would be 200 milliseconds. The recommendation here is to set it as low as possible to minimize any accidental dodges, so when you're strafing back and forth, you won't accidentally throw a dodge that you didn't mean to throw. But you still need it high enough so that you can actually reliably dodge when you want to. Now finding this balance can be different for each player, so you should just play around with the value until you find something that works best for you. The last feature we can change in this menu is enable slide from run. This option enables you to use the slide mechanic without the need of being airborne before it. Simply press your crouch key from a standing position when you're travelling with any momentum, and this will cause you to slide. The downside to this feature is that crouching can also be used to lean over ledges and platforms without falling, and leaning over a ledge with this option enabled, you have to stop any momentum first before crouching. Otherwise you could trigger a slide accidentally sending you over the edge. Some players like to keep this option turned off to have that extra control when approaching hazardous edges, but for me I like it enabled as I find it gives me more flexible movement in the heat of a battle. Anyways, I hope you find this guide useful. If you have any questions, leave them below in the comment section below, and anyways guys and girls, good luck, have fun out there in the tournament. I hope to see you out there soon.